G Fuel is definitely like my cup of coffee, for sure. I used to drink it a lot more. I haven't drank it in a while though. I also used to make vlogs. I vlogged every single day for like a year and a half. It's about time I incorporate some of like the vloggy stuff into these tutorials. Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another tutorial. Today we are talking about white balance. So you might be asking yourself what these are. White, black, and gray cards. I believe this is 18% gray. All right, this looks so much better. I forgot to turn on some lights. White balance is going to save your footage. This is kind of what some of my footage looked like before in the last couple tutorials. As you can see, it starts off really warm and then towards the end it transitions to more of a cool tone. But lately, like the last video and this video and every video moving forward, I no longer use auto white balance. And now I'm even taking it a step further by using these cards. Just a little side note, this is the first video that is using my new camera, the A6400, but there's gonna be like 2 videos after this that I recorded before I had this camera that I just haven't posted yet that are still gonna be using the 70D. But this video, more like basically entirely, this is the very first video to use my new camera. Just a little side note. I believe I have my white balance set at about 4500. You know, you're gonna wanna look at your actual lights that you're using. You can set your white balance based off of those. It's gonna say the temperature on it. You can use the custom presets that come with your camera, whether that's fluorescent, overcast, or like cloudy, like warm light, just whatever the case may be. You can use one of those presets. That way it's not gonna change your white balance throughout your footage. Because that's what we're really trying to avoid, is your white balance being changed throughout your footage. It's a lot easier to match footage if you have different cameras going on at the same time. Just match your white balance. You can also set a custom white balance. I know previously with the Sony cameras at least, you'd have to have a gray card to set your white balance. So you just take your camera, or you go down to the custom white balance settings. You're gonna take your gray card in your scene, take a picture of it, and you have your white balance set. With the A6400, I don't know if they have this I've implemented into the other ones because I haven't used any other Sony cameras, but at least with my camera, I can go and set the actual value I want my white balance to be set at. I have mine set at 4500. I know it's the same for Canon cameras. You can set the actual number that you want it, and this is even better for going with multiple cameras, so you just have them all set to the exact same white balance. Alright, now this is like future me. I cut my hair and everything, and this video is just a mess at this point. I don't even think the audio was good. I just wanted to clarify that explanation. So as you're working on your camera, as you're looking at like your white balance and color temperature, as you go into the higher values, it does get warmer, and the lower values, it does get cooler. However, it is the exact opposite of that when it comes to actual color of the lights. When you get to the really high values, I'll put on like a graph right now. So when you get to the really high values like 6500K, that's actually like daylight. It's called super daylight. Actually, about 5000 Kelvin is daylight. The really high values are actually the cool and like really cold colors of lights, and low values like warm light, that sits at about 3000 Kelvin. So the reason why it appears in camera when you're increasing the values it gets warmer is because the whole point of white balance is to counteract that. If you have a really warm image, then your white balance, you want to bring in more of the blues to balance this. Since blues and oranges, they're like opposite colors on the color wheel. If you add more, it takes away and it makes it a more neutral tone. If I have a super daylight color and it's at like 6500 Kelvin, and I set my camera's white balance to 6500 Kelvin, it's gonna appear just like this, just normal. And the color tones are gonna look more natural that way. If my lights are coming off at like 5000 Kelvin and my white balance is at 6500 Kelvin, it's gonna look more warm because I'm overcompensating. I'm adding too much orange. So white balance is the actual like color temperatures. It's compensating for the color that is in your area, and it's trying to make a neutral color. And by neutral color, I'm talking about what you're used to, like what you can see with your eyes, like color tones that look how they should look. Like reds look red, and blues look blue, and greens look green, and stuff like that. Like your skin tone looks natural. So that's basically like what white balance is. It's finding the correct like mix of colors that the camera is putting to make your whites look white. Or that is about the easiest explanation I can think of. I don't know why I didn't think of that before, you know, when I was like sitting in my little chair over there, but nevertheless, that's the case. Hopefully that was enough explanation of things to start to make more sense. I'm learning a little bit too. Like there's always room to learn more about everything. So that was my fault, but luckily I caught this before this video went up, before I even started editing it. But that's besides the point. So I'm gonna give it back to myself, and we're just gonna keep going with my tutorial and teach y'all things. Yeah, okay. Now, these little cards, these are what you're going to be using in post-production. These are going to give you accurate colors. So not only is your white balance not changing, now with these cards, you can set your white balance in your software based off of this gray. So you're going to get more accurate colors, and this is going to be your color correction like go-to or whatever. You're going to take this thing everywhere. You need to have a gray card, at least. You don't need to have the white or the black, but you need the gray card. Now, the white and the black, those are gonna help, again, for color correcting. So now you're gonna be able to set like your absolute blackest point and then your absolute whitest point, and then you can set your white balance based off of the gray. So this is kind of what it looks like before I set my white balance, and then this is what it looks like after I set my white balance with this gray card. There's probably a slight difference. You might not even be able to tell it, but it definitely helps a lot. So that was just a very, very quick video on the importance of white balance and setting your own white balance. It doesn't have to be a custom white balance, but definitely having a set white balance so it doesn't change throughout your footage. You can match different cameras a lot easier based off of your white balance. It's gonna take your footage to the absolute next level, which is something that is free. You can get one of these cards for like $10 or something. Just keep it in your camera bag. But just by setting the white balance in your camera, you're going to boost your production value, and all of your videos are gonna look that much better. It's gonna add a little extra percentage to making your videos look amazing. So thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go and finish drinking this, edit this video, and some other stuff, but thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in to the next video. Do all that YouTuber stuff like commenting, and subscribing. I've been getting a lot of good comments, so please keep commenting. I love looking at all of the comments. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon thingy when you do subscribe, so you actually get my videos when they come out, because that'd be pointless if you subscribe and you don't get notified that my videos are out. You know, whatever, you know? Just thank you so much for watching, and come back for the next video and subscribe. Be sure to subscribe. Okay, I keep repeating myself, so I'm just gonna go. I'll repeat myself one more time though. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, have a great rest of your day and stuff.